Youre, and I'm the co-founder of Eforia, which is a sexual wellness and discovery app with interactive erotica games. And today I'm interviewing my co-founder and partner in crime at Eforia, Meli, and we're going to be talking about her experience at realizing that she's a lesbian.
Hi, everyone. I am the lesbian in question. I'm the other co-founder of Eforia, as Elaine mentioned, and I'm excited to talk to you about my journey discovering that I'm gay with everyone today.
I should also mention that we are having a happy hour, which is the best way to have a conversation about such fun topic. And our happy hour is courtesy of Nasty Woman Wine, which is an unapologetically feminist wine brand here in the United States.
Cheers to lesbians and feminists.
Always a big cheers to
that.
So thank you for talking with me today, Meli. You had a pretty interesting journey in discovering your sexuality.
I would say so. I'm what I'd like to refer to as a late in life lesbian. I didn't realize I was gay until I was 30. And yeah, it took me quite a bit of time to figure out I was gay. But within the year I was out, now I'm 35 years old and I'm a very proud lesbian. I'm out of the closet and was a crazy last 5 years, but it's been completely worth it.
And I can absolutely confirm the pride. So what happened at 30 that actually made you realize that you're gay finally?
A YouTube video, like literally a YouTube video. I was, there had been a lot of things that had made me question, but, denial is a very big thing. But I was alone in my apartment and I decided to look up a video called How Do You Know You're a Lesbian? And the girl was like, how do you know you're a lesbian? Because you're looking up a video called How Do You Know You're a Lesbian? And I was like, oh shit, I'm a lesbian. And so I know it sounds like a joke, but literally when I saw that video, it just kind of everything made sense. But obviously it wasn't just because I saw a YouTube video and now I'm gay. That's not how it works. I think it was a couple things that made me not really have that realization until later. I think one was that I'm attracted to more feminine women, and I'm pretty feminine in how I present, and I didn't think that existed. I thought lesbians all looked alike. We all had to have motorcycles and vests and mullets, and even though it's amazing if that's how you are or that's how you want to present, I just wasn't attracted to that. And so I thought, well, if that's what I'm supposed to be attracted to, then I'm not gay. So I think it was like a lack of representation when I was younger that really contributed to that. Obviously, I think I struggled with internal homophobia and denial. There would be a lot of these moments that would happen, like, I'd watch a movie like Angelina Jolie and Tomb Raider, and I'd be like, no, I just, she's just cool. That's all it is. It wasn't that I had a massive crush on her. But I just think I didn't want to be gay. And so that led me to just like pretend I didn't have that feeling and then, completely focus on something else. And then, sexuality is a spectrum. Everyone knows that. But I think I can find men attractive. And so, because I could find men attractive, I would be like, oh, well, I just haven't met the right guy yet. When really it was like, even though I find men attractive, I can't emotionally connect. And it wasn't until later that I finally started seeing all these little moments, like when a friend holds your hand and you get excited, that I had to stop ignoring that stuff was happening. And so, I finally decided to listen to my subconscious and my body and do some Googling on YouTube, and voila, here I am.
I bet a lot of people can relate to that story. I totally understand how there were not enough images showing people of different sexualities, like on television and the media back in the day. And when they really did seem to be very stereotypical. They followed a specific type. Totally. So once you had that moment, the big realization, what did you do? How did that first initial few weeks or month go?
Well, first I cried a lot. That night, I call it gay panic. I just literally stood in front of my mirror and I was like, I'm a lesbian, And then The next day, I made an appointment with a therapist, very important. And then I changed my gender preference to women on Tinder. I finally gave myself, even though I had thought about it, I finally gave myself the permission to do it. And those three things, the panic subsiding, the therapist, and Tinder really kind of set me on my way.
I love that playbook for like coming out of the closet.
There will be panic. There will be panic. Then you will watch the entire series of the L Word. Then you need to find yourself like a gay lesbian sensei. I have one. So all those things. I'll write a playbook later. Put it in the notes.
Like the 10-step program for how to know you're gay, and then what to do once you know.
Yeah, I know. It's like we should do a program like adopt a new lesbian if you're older to like help them come out and put them under your gay wing.
I love it. I mean, well, we all have somebody who helps us out when we're going through big changes in life.
Totally.
So once you change your preferences on Tinder, I assume at some point you were faced with this whole new exciting prospect of going out on your very first date with a woman. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably remember me calling you in panic during that time, but it was amazing. At first, obviously, I was panicking. Even doing the texting, I was sending text messages like 30 miles long. And I had to Google who pays on a lesbian first date. I mean, I didn't have a guidebook, which I will write. It'll come out soon. And then I went on the date, and I have to say that after that first date, I just was like, yep, this is it. This is what I had been missing my whole life. And it was just, it's as cheesy as it sounds, it's the butterflies I never really believed were real. Like I always thought everyone was exaggerating. I had them on that first date, and it's been amazing to finally have that experience that people have at like 13.
So who pays on a lesbian date? I'm very curious.
It's the person who asks the other person on the date, typically.
Oh. I love that. We should have just in general.
Yeah. Although now I do that, if we'll see how the date is going. The first date's good, I'll want to pay. And then if not, we'll split halfsies.
That's a good plan too.
Yeah.
So what would you say to somebody who is questioning?
I mean, I would say, listen to that subconscious voice that you have. I think anyone that's questioned their sexuality knows those kind of moments that I'm talking about, where it's like, when your friend all of a sudden grabs your hand because you're in a club, or like you're crossing the street and a car's coming, she like pulls you out, and it's like having those type of moments where all of a sudden you're like, you get excited, or you're watching a movie and you're just way overly more obsessed with the female character than the male character. There's like little signs that now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I was so gay at like 7, but I ignored it and I denied it and I pushed it down. And I think it's gonna bubble up and it's gonna come out. And so it's better to dive in and just listen to those feelings, explore those feelings, and do research. Go on YouTube. I actually have a video out there of like, how do you know you're a lesbian now? So hopefully that can help someone and they can have their realization. But I think the main thing is don't try to ignore what your body and your subconscious is telling you. They're telling you something for a reason. And I was so scared that even just listening to those thoughts, my world was going to implode, and the CIA was going to know I was gay because I looked up something on Google. And it's not true. It's, the only thing that can happen is that you can start living your life authentically. And, I really resonate with the rainbow flag. I know this is very cheesy, but it's not just because it's supposed to represent, all these different sexualities and identities. But for me, it's like, once I came out and I started having same-sex experiences, I really realized that I had been living my life in gray. And now it's like bright Technicolor with, sprinkles and confetti. And all those times that you think that maybe your friends are exaggerating, like how they feel, you're supposed to feel that. You aren't supposed to just want to get through sex or like be a little grossed out. It's supposed to be enjoyable. And and it's okay. you're going to panic, but it's going to be okay. So, get a therapist, get a friend, just explore, go on Eforia, try out some same-sex experiences that way. But that at the end of the day, it's going to be okay, and it's going to be totally worth it. And Pride is awesome.
Pride is awesome.
Yeah.
I will add to that. It's also never too late to explore your sexuality. It's really just about, like you said, living authentically. And people's sexuality can sometimes change and evolve as they get older too. So just because you were attracted to something or someone back in the day doesn't mean that that's the only kind of person you're ever capable of being attracted to throughout your entire life. And that's why it's so important to just maintain that like sexual wellness and exploration throughout your life so that you can always stay true to your authentic sexual self.
And I will add something that's such a great point, Elaine, because I thought I was so alone that I was, the only one that came out later in life. And 30 actually isn't that late in life, for the record, but there's people that came out at 40, 50, 60. I went to a coming out group and there was a woman there that was 80. And so it's never too late. You can always you don't know what amazing experience is waiting for you around the corner. And it's just that, when do you want to decide life to get good and colorful? So do it. It's never too late, and you're not alone. I promise you, there's way more of us late in life people than you think.
I love that message. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, Meli. And I will also reiterate Meli's video on YouTube about how to know that you're a lesbian is absolutely fantastic. It's also hugely popular. It's got like 1 million views. And we'll add a little clip of it to the end of this video so you guys can check it out. But we highly recommend going online and looking it up. And thank you again for Nasty Woman Wines for sponsoring our happy hour tonight.
Thank you.
And check out some of our other videos. We have wonderful interviews up with our sex therapist who talks about what sex therapy is, as well as how to stay sexual in stressful times. And for more wonderful content like this, check out the Eforia app. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
I always thought people were exaggerating. I never understood how my friends would want to spend all their time with their boyfriends, or how they would get so upset when they would then break up with that boyfriend and put Sarah McLachlan on repeat. In my opinion, it was like you met one Steve, you've met them all, and you can't get that excited or heartbroken about a guy named Steve anyways, So I just thought people were dramatic and cheesy, and I was more of a pragmatist. And don't get me wrong, I dated, kissing guys was easy. When I got to college and the expectation was to do more, I just didn't really feel like it. And it wasn't that I was against it. I'd be like, yeah, I'll lose my virginity when I really like someone. The problem is I never really liked someone enough. And foreplay with a guy just would not look forward to it, but it's something you had to do, get it out of the way. But deep down, I thought every girl thought that giving a hand job felt the same as unclogging a toilet with a hand plunger. You're grabbing onto this piece of wood, not knowing how much pressure you need to apply to get the job done, trying not to look at what's happening, and then when it's finished, you hope you didn't get any backsplash on you. This is what everyone felt, right?